babies, why they in need enough to drive. Horsepower, speed is punching. Smoking weed, I'm blunting. No, this these is none. Ain't me like Jesus functions. Eating knowledge, I got key consumption. Super Saiyan wanna be. I eat a peanut buzzing. Fuck your family, they ugly. You can keep your cousin, most people puzzling. You want my time is about an hour and I need 100. I see your ship and see it sunken. Missing me, she keep on cutting. She a keeper, love a hot box, a beaming bucket. My demon, she seen a sucker. She bring me, need me, so fucking here for long haul. Press hold if God calls.
How dare you? That is for me.
Merry Christmas.
And me. No, Merry Christmas. Welcome to the Shirts Off Podcast, Season 2, Episode 107. We've made it to the end of yet another year, and I would like to thank all of you who watch the Shirts Off Podcast for always saying stupid shit to us and making us laugh. And if we were able to somehow make you laugh in the process, then I'm sorry for whatever amount of dribble you had to sit there to finally feel the wonderful feeling of joy that is laughter. Between Creighton trying to convince you all that I'm racist and me trying to convince you all that he's actually not that funny, this podcast is full of some pretty serious deception on a regular basis. But with all of that thrown into a neat little bow and served up on Twitch TV, we are honored to bring you this average-ass content on a weekly schedule, sometimes maybe. The weather today is 31 degrees in Brown County, Minnesota, and the precipitation is 0% humidity, which is the same as it was when I wrote this the other week. The humidity is 0%. Wow, I wrote this.
Are you okay?
Upon fixing this, I may have deleted some commas and really ruined the flow of how it is said.
So Charlie's
the
having a
humidity
stroke.
is 81%, and the wind is 9 miles per hour. Creighton, what is the word of the day? On this day, the Lord of... Oh, I forgot about this part. So I had to rewrite the script because I wrote it 4 days ago for an episode we ended up not filming. And at the end I said, what is the word of the day on this, the day of our lords, the Mayans? Because we were supposed to do it on the 21st, which initially in 2012 would have been the last day of history. That would have been the day the world ended.
Which is hilarious.
Yes.
Because it's been so long since then now.
It has. It's been fucking 11 years.
I remember when that happened.
I do too. We were at school that day.
Yeah.
And I was making a lot of jokes. I was like, wonderful weather, wonderful apocalypse weather we're having. I remember thinking I was the coolest kid in school for saying that.
You were.
I was like, man, I'm so funny and clever. I know. No, it's terrible. It's horrible now.
I was like, where's my camera? I looked over there.
Yeah. Your camera has never been over there before.
I'm like, look over here.
Looks all the way, looks over so he can see his own, what he looks like. It is very deceptive the way we have the camera set up, where I'm right here and I look so gigantic in the camera, and you're so far away.
It's
in reality,
I'm so big that you have to get far away to encompass and appreciate.
Yes, in reality, if you guys were to put me and Creighton next to each other for real, it's about the opposite of what the actual
they saw
ratio
is. Hot Ones challenge. You can tell in that video.
Yeah, you can tell like you're way.
I'm just a giant person. Do you want to know what the Urban Dictionary word of the day is, Charlie?
Yes, I do.
Lego Indiana Jones 2: The Adventure Continues.
No, you just get a new one.
It's great. It's great. Hold on, wait. It's a long one.
It's a sentence of the day. Statement of the day.
The single best video game ever created.
False.
Lego Indiana Jones 2: The Adventure Continues is almost completely perfect in every way. Lego Indiana Jones 2: The Adventures Continues' only flaw is that it's just too good. Lego Indiana Jones 2: The Adventure Continues is enjoyable from start to finish.
Who wrote this? Lego Indiana Jones?
It has no flaws. Released on November 17th, 2009. Made by Traveler's Tales. Lego Indiana Jones 2: The Adventures Continues.
Oh my God, stop saying the whole thing. Come up with a weird dumbass acronym or something.
May we all praise John Burton for designing Lego Indiana Jones 2: The Adventure Continues.
John Burton wrote this.
Sleep with Lego Indiana Jones 2: The Adventure Continues in our arms every night to bring good luck.
Yeah, Chris might have actually wrote that.
I wanted to read it because it was fantastic, and what a great way to bring up something that I almost forgot about even existing.
I didn't even know that game did exist.
I knew there was a first one.
I knew there were Lego Star Wars. I knew that they had made Lego Harry Potter. I know they've made a lot of Lego games.
Well, at this point, everything's Lego. We got a Lego game
so
coming out next year. Did you know that?
Yeah, we do. I know. We were in development talks last week. Could you imagine shirts off? It's just us on a podcast
just talking.
but we're Legos. God, that would be cool. You know, you can get like pop figures made and shit.
Yeah.
Like, we should get shirts off pops made.
Oh, that'd be cool.
I don't know how much. I feel like it costs a lot.
You wouldn't hear it used in a sentence.
Sure.
Guy 1, hey, have you ever played Lego Indiana Jones 2: The Adventure Continues? Guy 2, no, I have no. Guy 1 stabs guy in the throat repeatedly. This was made on June 12th, 2019. So that means 10 years after the release of this game, somebody was like, still
This game's
thinking heavy.
amazing. 10 years later, someone was like, man, I can't believe no one believes me.
Or-
this is the best game ever made. I must put it in the record that this is the greatest game ever made.
Or they
I
got
must record
really,
it.
really, really high and was playing it and was like, I got
This is the greatest game of all time.
I've got to like sit down and write something out to, express my feelings.
It's unbelievable.
What if we die, go to heaven, and Lego Indiana Jones 2: The Adventure Continues?
It's like it has
It's-
like arms and
yeah.
legs as a little case, and it's
It's
just walking
there.
around.
You know what I mean?
The entirety of the game is in heaven.
They're like,
What they don't tell you is heaven is Indiana Jones 2.
The Adventure Continues.
The Adventure Continues.
Lego Indiana Jones.
Lego Indiana
Not just
Jones
Indiana
2.
Jones.
The Adventure Continues. It's actually what heaven is.
Ah, yes.
When you die, you go to Lego Indiana Jones 2. The Adventure Continues.
So
God, now I'll never forget.
I've
I've said
right?
it 3 times. It should show up at any
Yeah.
moment.
So I've officially lost all hope for Scream 7. The director just stepped away from the project after Jenna Ortega dropped out and the original girl, what's her face, dropped out. So,
This is
Scream
what they
7's
get.
just
This is what
dead
they
in the
get for
water.
supporting Palestine. Imagine I just go into a full like.
I don't even
Israel,
care. I
Palestine,
don't even
right?
care about politics at this point. I need to finish the story. Like,
That's too bad. It's
God
not,
damn
it's not
it.
gonna get finished.
fuck you.
It will. What'll happen is in a year when the next war starts, the
Yeah.
American Civil War. Once the American Civil War
Electric
Volume,
Boogaloo?
once the American Civil War Volume 2 Electric Boogaloo comes out, they will start making that movie in Canada, but they'll make it, and it'll be with all the same people because the contracts will be renewed, and no one will be mad about Israel and Palestine anymore, because the next thing will have happened. Because that's I don't know if you noticed, that's the way it works now.
Yeah.
No one, what the fuck's happening in Ukraine? You don't know. I don't know. None of us know anymore. You know why? Because there's a fucking war going on in Palestine that all the cameras are over looking at instead.
Oh, yeah.
And soon that one will be gone because we'll have a fucking volcano erupt and kill more than 500 people. Because that's what has to happen. More than 500 people have to die. If more than 500 people die, whatever the last thing that happened is gone in our minds.
Yeah.
That like it's gotten to the
The
point where
24-hour news cycle.
the 24-hour news cycle has evolved into the most previous tragedy cycle. Whatever the most previous tragedy is, like, you know how many school shootings we've had in the last 2 months? Like, a few, actually. And they're just, like, falling to the wayside because we have a war going on in Ukraine.
Which actually might be kind of good because, like, I feel like part of the reason people do school shootings nowadays is
It's
for, like, the
The
attention.
acclaim. The attention and the
press,
acclaim,
you know? So, like, if they're not getting that attention and the press, then, like,
yeah. Yeah.
it,
It's what happened
well,
with, it's what's
I
happened with so many
hopefully
of these
we'll
things.
start to see a decline, I mean, it's tragic, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But, like, I would rather not give these guys that go and do this any kind of press. You know what I mean? Because even, like, just mentioning, how do I put it? Just mentioning that they did, like, they even thought about it. I'm
Yeah.
like, fuck you.
Gentlemen, Cobb. Welcome to Cobb. We just have electric guitars and
Yeah.
we start fucking jamming.
I have a guitar at my house that Garrett was playing the other night.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
Cool story, bro.
Yeah. No, so all of my family came over to my house the other night, except for Charlie. He abandoned me.
How dare you?
Even
was
the,
at my family.
he was
for
what?
Christmas.
No,
It was
no,
Christmas.
No, this was Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was at my family's for Christmas Eve.
Were you? I thought
Yeah, I
you
was in
went to
Columbia.
Marcy's.
No, I was in Columbia. Oh, Christmas Eve?
I thought that was
Sunday?
20. No, I thought.
Oh, you're right. Sunday. No, I wasn't Marcy.
Yeah,
Well, we were all at Marcy. You were
Yeah.
actually the only one not at
No, I
Marcy's.
went by Marcy's though.
Yeah, but not with all of us.
I know. I
You were
did.
there way early that day.
I did because like I knew people were coming over. So to my house. This is the first time my mom and my dad have been in the same room
in a while.
and celebrating something since I graduated. And then the previous time was to, have a serious discussion with me. But anyways, it was nice. We had a good time.
That'll be the conversation for the next therapist episode.
That was probably the best like Christmas present of all. Is just like having everybody over there and hanging out
And
just vibing.
yeah,
you know?
and being cool.
Yeah, and we got to see titties because we were watching
Trading Places.
Yeah, which my dad was like, "This is a Christmas movie." I'm like, "Is it though?"
Yeah,
Like,
it's
yeah,
not.
It's like
Christmas happens during
yeah,
the movie.
it's
but
more of
not
like
really
it's more like a winter movie.
Yeah.
Like, no, it's
Yeah.
the best Christmas movie ever. Like, granted, my dad was very
a winter movie.
My
Yeah, it's Christmas. Let's watch Hannah. It's Christmas. It's Christmas, guys. Let's watch The Pianist.
my dad.
Good, great vibes, right?
My I think it's pronounced pianist.
The Pianist.
Yeah. But
Nothing better
anyways,
than kids killing guys and fucking the Holocaust.
But my dad was sauced at this point and was like, "Yeah, Trading Places is the best Christmas movie I've ever seen in my life."
Your dad was like, "No one's gonna argue with me because I'm drunk."
Yeah.
Titties.
Yeah. Real.
Jamie Lee Curtis titties.
And when all the titties were coming on screen, my mom was like, "Great." And like my whole family's here at this point.
Yeah.
And
It's amazing.
she's like,
At least
"Why
there's
you-"
no like little kids right now.
Yeah,
in
there
your
really
family.
isn't. Like the youngest
Yeah.
is 14.
Yeah, your guys is like you guys probably have like between 5 and 8 years before there's actually children walking around in
Yeah.
that family.
Is she?
Your guys' family's small enough that like there's a big generational gap
Oh yeah.
for children. Like once the 9 and 10-year-olds are 11 and 12, all of a sudden there won't be kids for like a decade in that family for the next. Like you guys got like 30 years of that cycle continuing.
Oh yeah. And
Because your family's so small right now.
she was like, "Why don't you change it?" I'm like, "I didn't pick this. My dad has the remote." And then my dad, my cousin Garrick, and my stepdad Mike were all like, "Come on, Kimberly, it's Christmas."
Yeah,
Titties. Like, what
titties.
the
Come
hell?
on, what are you doing?
You know, if
Christmas was great. Mom and Dad got back together, seen some titties. What in the Southern heritage is going on here?
and my I think Mike went like, if there were titties in It's a Wonderful Life, people would still be watching it to this day. Which people are still watching, but it'd be a lot more.
There'd be more people would watch it if there was titties. Apparently, that new Jennifer Lawrence movie, she gets like full frontal nude in.
Which one?
It's called No Hard Feelings.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
is it
She
good?
fights a lady, or she fights people naked on the beach. It's awesome.
Is it?
Is it really her, or is it a body double?
I think it's her. I think they say
Oh.
it's her.
Okay.
Do you see stuff?
Yeah,
Like
no,
a lot?
it's
see it all.
everything. It's
everything.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
It's nighttime, but it's so well lit, you see everything. Yeah.
It's nighttime, but it's so well lit.
Yeah. It's beautiful cinematography, actually.
Yeah, I've heard that it's like a surprisingly not just fun movie, but like a good movie,
It's
like
a great
heartwarming movie. Like it's a
It's-
fun, good movie.
It's a movie. It's a movie I could see me and you sitting down watching and be like, "This is like a modern classic." you
yeah.
know?
Okay.
It-
Well, I've heard a lot. I'm gonna sit and watch it soon.
you should watch it.
As soon as I saw the trailer, I was like, "Oh, this
was-
is like Crazy Stupid Love vibes
It
in
was-
terms of like
yeah,
good comedy,
It-
a movie that is a comedy
you
that is a
don't-
good movie."
You don't see many of those movies these days where it's like kind of a smaller movie that's just
Well,
trying to tell a really good story.
She only made it because like she's supposed to be on like an acting hiatus. She told her like after it was either after Hunger Games or after she did a movie.
X-Men is
Or
like the
maybe
last thing that
X-Men, yeah.
I
She
can
did
remember her doing.
she did a movie called
She did Joy too, didn't she?
that was a long
Was
time
that
ago, though.
after X-Men
She-
or before X-Men?
What's it called? She just did a movie that got nominated for some Oscars. Jennifer Lawrence,
Jennifer
IMDb.
the Naked Lawrence.
She did a movie called
Joe Mama's House.
Joe Mama's Causeway. So she did Causeway. That was in 2022. That movie's amazing. She plays a veteran who got blown up, like she got hit with an IED, and
Yeah.
is having really fucked up like PTSD from it, and like she's kind of suicidal, and she has to move back home with her mom, and she meets a guy played by Brian Tyree Henry.
Yeah.
He got an Oscar nomination for it. I don't want to say too much because it's not a very long movie. I don't think it's like an hour and a half maybe.
Right.
It's like a normal movie runtime, I guess. But for me, that's not long. For me, 2 hours is like normal movie now. But it's a performance movie. It's like those two acting is
it's
what
like watching
what is
somebody
great.
just act at each other.
Yeah.
Like kind of like Marriage Story is just like Adam Driver and
Yeah,
Scarlett
like
Johansson
the
just trying to out at each other.
Yeah, the plot itself is like okay, it's like whatever, but like.
So this is what I think.
But
about
wait, hold
her.
on, wait. Let me finish this
Oh,
statement
sorry,
real
go
fast.
ahead.
She was supposed to be done with acting for a long time.
Yeah.
She's like said she was done and not doing anything, but No Hard Feelings. Her friend wrote it, and they talked about writing it like 9 years ago.
Yeah.
Like he showed her the script like 8 or 9 years ago,
Yeah.
and she was like, "That's amazing." And then finally,
You can
like,
tell it's an
he-
older script.
yeah, finally he got like a studio to back it, and he was like, "Do you want to still do it?" Because she wanted to do it all the way back then.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Yeah, it kind of works even better now because I'm older, like this much older than this kid." And she was like, "Let's do it," because I want to. Like they sat and like she said that sitting down and reading it with him was one of her favorite like moments in the history of like
It's
being an
great.
actress.
It's got like a 16 Candles vibe to it. a
Yeah,
little bit,
that's what the trailer definitely gives off, like 80s
Yeah,
like raunchy comedy, but
Yeah.
and also like full of heart. So
yeah.
it looks great. I'm excited.
What's
to
the
watch
guy's name that wrote like Breakfast Club and all that stuff? Like 16
it.
Candles.
I can't remember.
Yeah, but
the
it's
same
like
guy
it's
who
that
wrote a lot
guy
of it,
and
yeah.
Home Alone and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, that guy has a resume.
He
Like,
or she I think we can expect to not see her for a while. Like we might not see Jennifer
That's
Lawrence
okay.
pop up till she's fucking 40.
I think that's fine. So this is how I feel about Jennifer Lawrence. I like her in a lot of things. I did not care for her as Mystique. In the
Joy
X-Men.
was in 2015.
I saw Joy.
That's 9 years ago
Yeah.
almost now. 2015 is about to be 9 years old. You understand that?
Yeah,
That's fucking stupid.
yeah. That means you're gonna be.
I'll be 28.
54.
28.
55.
I'll be 28
Yeah.
in less than 2 months.
That can't be right.
Like a month and a half.
Let me change my calendar.
Yeah, fix your
Anyways.
calendar. Mockingjay came out in 2015.
Mockingjay came out.
Mockingjay 2, sorry.
Okay.
Part 2 came out in 2015. That
But
and
no,
Joy came out the same year.
Do you,
Wow, weird year for Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah.
Hunger Games, Mockingjay Part 2, and a biography.
No, she was everywhere for like a little.
She's made
bit.
a lot of great stuff. Like 2015 to 2022 is Mockingjay Part 2, Joy, X-Men Apocalypse, Passengers, Mother, Red Sparrow, Dark
Oh, I
Phoenix,
forgot about
Don't Look
Mother.
Up, Causeway, No Hard Feelings. If you go all the way to 23,
Yeah, there was like a couple of years where she was just like working her ass off.
she's an Oscar winner, isn't that?
Yeah.
Good? She's such a. Have you ever seen Winter's Bone?
Uh-uh.
That's the movie she won. I think the one she won. I'm about to look it up. If it would fucking ever load. I hate IMDb. IMDb, something broke in their fucking site a long time ago. She got nominated for. Wow, she's got 4 Oscar nominations. Holy shit.
Yeah.
She's been nominated for. She won for Silver Linings Playbook. Sorry, she's nominated for Winter's Bone, American Hustle, and Joy. Have you ever seen American Hustle with Christian Bale?
Is it good?
Bro, that movie's amazing, and she's incredible in it. She's unbelievable. That movie is just unbelievable. Her and Christian Bale play husband and wife, and it's
American-
when she's like 19.
American Hustle or American Muscle?
American Hustle.
Yeah. She's one of those people like you could tell she could be
Anyone?
early or late teens, early 30s, 40s.
Yeah, she's anyone in that range at
Yeah.
the. She's probably got 10 years where she could still pull all of that off.
Yeah.
It's like when you see these. Well, you know what? I'm not gonna have that conversation.
In the movie we were talking about, I think she's said to be 23, which I could see that.
Which movie?
The one we were just talking about, No Hard Feelings.
Oh, okay. 23? Is that it?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
That doesn't seem right. That seems way too young for her character.
I think she says she's 23. What in the Southern Heritage is going on here? I'm gonna start using that every day.
That's a pretty good one.
Yeah. Copenhagen, I've missed you.
No hard feelings.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, it doesn't say how old she is in the movie. Oh well, fuck it. I'm not gonna fuck with it. The kid is 16 years old, so I guess
Yeah.
23 still could do it. Fuck off, Marv. Yeah. You are Marv. If we're those two, you're Marv. Wait.
Yeah, that's what I
Beat it,
said.
Marv. Yeah, 'cause that's not Joe Pesci. I'm Joe Pesci, and you're Marv. Marv's the tall one, right, with
Yeah.
the crazy hair?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're him. You're him.
Yeah.
It's not even close. If you and me are those two, I am Joe
We're
Pesci.
the Wet Bandits.
We're the Wet Bandits. Stop calling us that. We're not the Wet Bandits. Got a lot of houses to connect you to, too. Good job running the water.
I've been.
You did
feeling-
it again, didn't you?
I-
It's our trademark, Marv. We're the Wet Bandits. So dumb.
The worst part is, it's like probably thousands of dollars worth of water
Oh,
damage.
whoa, so
on
much.
top of the water bill,
on top of the fucking stolen shit. Forget about that.
Imagine how
Imagine
mad.
someone steals all your shit and then floods your house. I mean, that is just fucking. Imagine if you have a 2-story
and
house.
it's wintertime.
Yeah, imagine if it's a 2-story house and they do it upstairs. Like that is
Ugh.
just fucking brutal.
Yeah. God, I would hate that.
Did you ever watch Home Alone 4?
Yeah, I've seen all of them,
It's
except for
garbage. The third one?
the fifth one.
There's a fifth one?
Yeah, it's a Disney Plus original thing,
Ugh.
and apparently there's another one, but in that one it's like the
Which ones have you seen? You said you saw them all, and now you haven't seen 2 all of a
No,
sudden.
no,
So
no,
which
no,
one?
no.
Just say which ones you've seen.
I've seen 1 through 4.
1 through 4. Okay.
And that's about all I can stomach.
Yeah, 'cause the fourth one, by the time you get to the fourth one, you're like, why are we trying to be the same characters
And
'Cause
they're
they're-
completely different actors.
in this completely they're setting up
He's
like an
not
established.
Joe Pesci.
Yeah,
he's
and
not.
These
what's
aren't the established.
Frankie Muniz.
Frankie Muniz, Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah.
How dare you?
I did that on
Because like the characters are like it's Marv, and it's like no, that fucking isn't. Go fuck yourself.
And then
And
all
you're
of a
not.
sudden he has a
You're not
wife.
Macaulay Culkin. Yeah, and all of a sudden he has a different wife. Like what
Yeah.
the fuck is happening here?
Where's Harry?
Where's Harry? Where is everyone? What's
Yeah.
going on? And go fuck yourself. This is not right. This is wrong. Macaulay in the middle. I love you, Copenhagen. The third one is not horrible because they
It's
do
different.
go. It's different, but it's also like it makes sense that it's different
Yeah.
because they're not trying to be the same kid.
Yeah.
So it's like okay, it's halfway acceptable that this is
Yeah.
a whole nother
and
situation.
there's 4 of them.
But then
instead of
there's
2.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them, but
Yeah.
it was stupid that they went to the fucking fourth one because the fourth one they're like people might not have liked this one as much. So let's go back to Kevin McAllister. But here's the thing:
He's rich now.
he's rich. It's not Macaulay Culkin,
and the
it's not-
parents got divorced.
The parents got divorced, and it's not Joe Pesci either. So there's
Yeah.
no family,
Like, look
just a dad, and they're
Look
trying to steal from a giant mansion again.
Look at that family though. Like I mean, granted he was rich before. Okay, so I guess that's not
Yeah.
that much of a leap. But like
Now he's extra rich.
now he's extra rich.
Now he's like stupid
and,
rich.
And like the parents got divorced, and those two, like I know they went through a lot together, but like they never once hit me as like, oh, they're gonna get divorced in a
Yeah,
couple
and
years.
and he's only gonna take Kevin with him.
Yeah,
like he took one child out of the fucking. There's like 11 children in that. They had too many.
well,
kids.
I think they have 3 kids, and the rest of the kids are like the in-laws and the cousins and stuff.
Are you sure?
Yeah, 'cause they have Buzz, and then they have a middle sister, and then there's Kevin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's still dumb.
yeah.
It's still stupid. The first two are just unbeatable.
Buzz is apparently in the 4th one as a cop, or not the 4th one.
The fifth one.
Yeah,
That's stupid.
and Aaron.
You think it's the same? Is
the
it
girl
the same
that
guy
plays
who played Buzz?
I think it is. Yeah,
Okay, 'cause that
They-
would be a cool little nod if that's.
it
true.
is a cool nod, but
Is he playing Buzz also?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's
Like
that,
he's
that
Buzz,
is kind of neat.
and
If-
he like you mentions like, oh, this thing happened to my brother one time.
yeah,
you know?
yeah. Okay, that's
or
funny.
twice actually.
Yeah, that actually happened twice.
yeah,
It's
it's
crazy.
weird. I mean, if I
The
had a
second
nickel for
movie-
every time this happened,
I'd
like,
have-
2
I'd-
nickels. But it's weird that happens twice, right?
Shut the fuck up. The second one is so. One of my favorite through lines in a movie is the pigeon lady plot
Oh yeah.
of the second movie because she's just so
Well, and people
wonderful.
like to rag on the second one for just being a rehash, but I mean,
Who cares?
It is, but it isn't. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it changed just enough for you to be like, okay, this is different. You know what I mean?
But it's also like the set piece, the action that happens in the second one is so much more fun, like so much
Yeah.
funnier than the
and,
first one.
and it's New York too. Like
Yeah,
and,
it's
and
a
they
little
really
more
lean into
believable.
that.
Yeah,
and
they-
Trump's in that movie. It's
Yeah, he
crazy. like you're like,
Well, they lean into the fact also that like, okay, he got away with this in a house.
yeah.
Like it's.
Can he get away with this in New York?
Of course he can get away with it in New York, but of course he would be able to get away with it in such a big building like that.
Yeah.
It's like a multiple story.
Yeah,
Holes
He's
in
staying
the floor.
Tipton or whatever.
Well, I'm talking about that
Oh, you're talking about the house
the-
that's being remodeled.
the one that he like booby
Yeah.
traps. Yeah.
Why
like,
do I remember these movies so well? I haven't watched these movies in forever.
Yeah, but we watched them so many times as a
Yeah,
kid.
yeah,
Like, dude, how
that's
many
true.
times did we watch the second Home Alone
Yeah.
movie?
I still don't remember his sister's name though. I
Me
do
either.
remember John Candy being like polka polka.
That's probably the best. That might be the best through line of those two movies is John Candy.
He's not in the second one.
I know. I'm saying out of all the things
Oh,
that happen
yeah,
in
yeah,
the
yeah,
background of the two movies, like
Yeah.
the John Candy plot is fucking unbelievable, and he's like giving a sincere performance. Like
oh yeah.
he's funny, but he's also like
He's not over
heartfelt.
the top.
He's
and
not
stuff
like-
like
he's
in
not
some
like-
things that he's in.
I don't mean this as like a dig, but he's not like Chris Farleying it.
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
Chris
yeah.
Farley would like get that extra oomph into his
Yeah.
character. John Candy's being like the humble,
Yeah, yeah.
like the guy.
Yeah.
He's that guy, a
Yeah.
polka guy, a weird polka guy is gonna have that kind of like
He's like
sheepish charm.
He's the guy that would kind of be like either Jim or Kevin if The Office was made in the 90s.
Yes,
Yeah.
Jim and Kevin.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. It's, wow. That's exactly who he is. That's amazing. God, what a good.
He's
Those
like, we're
movies
the
are so
polka
great.
kings of the Mideast. You ever
Merry
heard of
Christmas,
this?
Creighton.
Merry Christmas.
So good. Those movies are so good.
Yeah.
God. It's been a weird Christmas.
You know he shot all those scenes in like one day?
Yeah, well that's how like so for Good Will Hunting, they only had Robin Williams for like a week and at like 10 days or something.
Yeah.
So like, or it might have been 3 weeks. That might be wrong. It might have been like 20 days. I think it was 3 weeks. So they filmed all that in 3 weeks. Which
And his scenes are
for
like
a
the best
feature
parts
length-
in the movie.
yeah, oh yeah.
Of Good Will
Like
Hunting.
for a feature-length film, you usually have somebody who's such a big part of the movie for like a duration of the movie.
Yeah.
But in that film's case, it's like weird because Ben Affleck and Matt Damon wrote that movie. So, they were there for the entire production. They were there for all of it, like the editing down to everything. Like they were such a big part of that movie. But they only had Robin Williams for his scenes for like 3 weeks. So like they were filming all the scenes that are just them like hanging around Boston being pals. They filmed it like a bunch of times over a certain amount of time, like over a bunch of time because they just kept having ideas and had different sites. So like they had a construction site. They filmed like 8 scenes at the construction site, but they only put 1 or 2 in the film.
Yeah.
They filmed like 8 scenes of them at the bar. They filmed like a bunch of different versions. There's like some deleted scenes of
They're
Will
nuts. Yeah.
that are great. Yeah, like there's one of Will and Charlie, which is Ben Affleck's character. And they're in a construction site, and they're like tearing down certain beams, but not other ones, and they're like taking measurements. And he looks over at Will, and he's like, "What's 41 4/8 by 29 7/10?" and he just like spouts the number out, and he's like, God damn it, I love having you around. Like it's shit like that, funny, like if your buddy was a genius, the shit you get up to kind of shit.
Oh yeah.
And it's just so cool. And then some of them aren't even like, it's not like amazing scenes. It's like one of the things that makes that movie great is the like world building of having a genius in your everyday life.
Yeah.
And they have a few scenes like that are deleted scenes, and God, it's just.
Well, it's funny that
I'm sorry, I'm talking about this movie. It's my favorite movie,
No,
so it's
you're
hard
good.
for me to get off of it when I do. But then they have Robin Williams for 3 weeks,
Well,
and he gives an Oscar-winning, fucking unbelievable performance in 3 weeks.
it's funny that you
Just
mentioned
John Candy's the shit out of
you
him.
mentioned that about Robin Williams because like I don't know if you know about this, but did you know that when they were making Batman 89, the studio, like from the get-go, like since the very beginning of the concept of a Batman
wanted
movie,
him as the Joker.
wanted him as the Joker, but he wasn't gonna do it. Like he was like, unless like he got like he wanted like so much money for it.
Oh,
And
really?
They weren't willing to like do it because he knew. So they
4/8
waived.
or half. Well, yeah, you're talking about a guy who's reading what he
Yeah.
sees, so he would say 4/8.
They
he would say 7/14
Yeah.
instead of half.
So they told Robin Williams they waived the basically the role around for Robin Williams, and Robin Williams was like totally on board, like signed on and everything. When Jack Nicholson found out that he was basically competing for the role against Robin Williams, he like signed on right away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, fuck, I need to get this.
Yeah. And then they completely dropped Robin Williams.
Best Joker.
But it ruined like their WB's relationship with Robin Williams because they wanted to come back and be Riddler for Batman Forever.
Well, fuck it.
Yeah.
We got Jim Carrey,
Yeah.
and
But could you imagine though,
In a world
where we got Robin Williams as the Joker or the Riddler? Cause
it's crazy because between Jack Nicholson and Robin Williams, it still wouldn't mess up the fact that all of the Jokers are Oscar actors.
Yeah.
Best Joker performance, in my opinion, is Heath Ledger. I mean, yeah, I think still it's.
Are you kidding me? Have you seen Mark Hamill's performances?
Well, that doesn't.
Granted, he had been doing it for
That's
like
different.
20-something years.
That's different. That's a voice actor.
But voice acting is like its
Sure.
own art. For
yes,
sure.
but it's not quite the same.
No,
It's a little different.
But it
in-
is
in
definitely
that,
comes
yeah,
with its
sure.
own
In
challenges.
that world, Mark Hamill's the best to ever do it. But like in acting, like acting, like when you're on screen and you're moving your face and you're getting captured on the camera and you're moving your body and you're doing all of it, Heath Ledger's the best Joker. Which to be fair, all of the Jokers are good. Even Jared Leto's Joker has like
has its moments.
if you separate him from the movie, from the plot of that bad film, like his performance isn't bad. It's nuanced. It's different. It's like he is doing a good job acting as a character. It's just that movie's so bad that it doesn't.
I don't
you
know.
Don't feel it.
Like, I just feel like that Jared Leto's Joker has problems. Like, because they're trying to do the whole gangster thing, and I could see him feeling like a gangster for like a
By
week
the
or
way,
whatever.
hello, Tony Donnie Rovers 2012.
Hello.
Welcome to
Welcome.
the podcast.
To the Sure Soul Podcast. No, but I could see him doing well as a Joker, because we kind of saw that at the end of the Snyder Cut of Justice League, which you still haven't watched.
Well, so you know how they did the Snyder Cut? Everyone was saying that they wanted the Ayers cut of that Suicide Squad because
the darker
that
version
movie-
that was
yeah,
supposed to come out.
well, not just darker version, but there's like a version that is not so thrown together shittily by the executives because the
Yeah.
executives saw the original cut and were like, "This isn't gonna work," and they made their own, and it's fucking horrible. I have to blow my nose. Talk for a moment.
So apparently the original version is more akin to Assault on Arkham, which is an animated movie that's canon to the Arkham series, and it's got the Joker featured as the main villain. Whereas
Yeah.
this one they kind of were like
He's
well,
it's like a side story going on, him getting Harley back. He's not even
yeah.
he's not even the
But
villain.
I
of the
think
movie.
that would have really worked
Yeah,
for
because-
this movie.
Yeah, because that and like the actual villain was nothing. It was such a
Yeah.
garbage. You have the fucking fire dude just become the hero at the end,
yeah.
where he's like literally a non-character until
Although
that moment.
at that and it mixes things up because at this point we're all kind of tired after the Dark Knight and everything of seeing the Joker and Batman just face off. If you throw the
I don't
Suicide,
think we
Suicide
were.
Squad
That was so many years later.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
think
true.
anyone was
That's true.
tired. I think everyone was like, that Joker was amazing. Can't wait for this next. Dude, when the trailer for Suicide Squad dropped, everyone was like, this shit is gonna be
Do you remember the
tits.
dark one? Like the very first one was
Yes.
like dark.
Where you only see him at the very end for a moment.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Oh, I'm not gonna hurt you, or I'm not gonna kill you. I'm just gonna hurt you real bad."
Yeah.
Everyone was like, "This shit's gonna be tight."
And then it got
the movie-
lighter and lighter, and you're like, "Is this Guardians of the Galaxy?"
Is this gonna be bad? And then it was so bad. It's so bad. They just kept changing it. I don't know why. I
Well,
feel like
so
that original trailer
You know what it
seems
was?
like
It was Batman v Superman. Batman v Superman
yeah.
got such a negative reaction. The studio started shitting bricks. I mean, because you got to think, Batman vs. Superman came out in like March of that year, and Suicide Squad was slated to come out in either, I can't remember, it was like November or December, whatever it was. It was later in the year. So they had about 6 to 8 months to like quote unquote fix it.
yeah.
And they were panicking, man. They sent this movie to a trailer house to put together the final edit of the movie. You know that, right? Like
Yeah.
it was edited together by a studio that just edits trailers. So the whole movie feels like it starts 5 or 6 times before the movie actually, gets going.
Yeah, it does, and it does. It's fucking horrible. Like, Cosmont has one of the best opinions about it. Like, the music, they just throw songs in for all the characters' intros, and none of them make any sense. Killer Croc has 2 lines in that movie, and the movie starts, his moment of, like, being brought on screen just has fucking, what's it called? Some folks are born made to raise a flag. Ooh, that red, white, and blue. It's just like fucking America song, like a Vietnam song. Killer Croc's walking on screen. Like, it means nothing. It has no thematic like relation to the character or anything that's gonna happen. He's not like a patriotic crocodile monster. Like,
Yeah.
what is happening? Like every time
It's
they
like,
introduce
was
someone,
Killer Croc in Vietnam?
yeah, like what is this? What is happening? Why is this here? It's so dumb. Winter Hat Creighton looks like he was born with a suspended license.
Thank you.
That's
Thank you.
true. It's true.
It's true.
It sucks because it's just like an Adidas beanie. Like it's
Yeah.
there's nothing even on it. Like it's not like a special beanie. but yeah, that's just so bad. That movie's so bad.
Well, here's the thing. Like, if we just had a Monk movie, which we do now, but I mean like a theatrically released Monk movie, I think the world would start to heal. Like
I
you'd
don't
see-
think that's true.
And also, if we had Guitar Hero come out on newer gen consoles, you'd see the world start.
Well, it
to
doesn't
heal
have to come out. They just have it on. You can just have it on like your phone. It's like you can plug and play Guitar Hero everywhere. They have so many emulators all over the web for it.
But like, imagine if we made a new one.
Love to see a new Guitar Hero. God damn it.
See?
He's appealing to the greater audience. Shit. For new gen.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. Like, could you
I don't like
imagine?
this. I don't like someone agreeing with you.
You
so,
get
so
your
Monk, like Tony Shalhoub. Yes,
Yes.
yes, Copenhagen. He's talking about Monk.
I love Monk. You don't like Monk Copenhagen?
He loves Monk. I think
Monk and
for him to
Psych
know
are
what Monk
amazing.
is and to know the actor's name, he has to know.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Do you know Psych? Psych.
Yes.
All I'm saying is now's the time to do a Monk Psych crossover. They never crossed over before. They're
I need to
literally-
watch. I need
they
to
got
watch
such a-
both shows. I still
They're
haven't watched
so
them.
good.
I know,
Like
I've
you would
heard.
enjoy it.
You're not the only person who's told me that Psych is the greatest show of all time.
Yeah.
My friend Daniel, it's like his favorite show of all time.
It's so good.
And it's one of the reasons.
It's me and you. If
It's
we
one of
did
the
it-
reasons
if we
he
did-
loves you so much.
Yeah.
He's like, tell me how my boy Creighton. How's Creighton?
It's-
I'm doing a perfect impression of him. He'll be like, Charlie, hello, brother. How's Creighton doing, man? I want to know what Creighton's up to. Is
Look,
he doing good? I'd rather be friends with him than you. You know
Psych-
that, right?
Psych is if me and you decide to open up a detective
hears that.
agency, and I fake being psychic. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Creighton's brain is a single cell organism.
It is. It is. I focus on daytime television shows and comics
And Joker performances.
and Joker performances, and all those three things in different orders.
Did you hear that Joker 2 is going to be a musical?
Yeah, we talked about that, and
Wait,
it's
they
gonna
went-
have Lady
okay.
Gaga. I'm
Yeah.
low key. That's the one I'm actually really excited about.
Yeah.
Is that canon to the DCU or
I
how's
don't
that going?
Think, but we're not. It's not totally. We don't
James
know
Gunn
yet.
is like, we got to kill
He's
everything.
focusing. He's focusing on Superman.
Yeah,
So we'll
which
see.
is good.
Which is
he
good.
needs to.
He
He needs
needs-
to focus
yeah.
on one thing at a time. You know, just build to it.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. James Gunn's coming in there, right? And there's so many things they gotta get rid of. But the bad thing is there's a lot of good things in there too. Like Aquaman isn't half bad, and apparently the new one
It's
is.
so bad.
Huh?
Apparently the new one's really
Apparently
bad.
the new one's really bad, but the first one isn't that bad. Like the first movie is
Okay.
actually pretty decent.
Okay.
Aside from that one cover song, that's like Pitbull doing a cover of Africa by Toto.
Okay. I didn't
It's
know
a
that
really,
happens.
it's only for a second, but it's the worst part of the movie. And it's so out of
Okay.
nowhere. It's in a transitionary scene, and all of a sudden you hear Mission Worldwide, and then Pitbull doing a horrible, god awful rendition of Africa. And it's
He's gonna come for you. You know
it's
that, right?
probably
You
the
know how many
wo-
people watch this show? You're ruining his reputation.
it's probably the worst thing the DCEU has ever produced.
I don't
And
know about
I've
that.
seen Suicide
They've made some pretty
Squad.
bad stuff.
It's no, this is the worst.
I don't know. He wanted.
I'm glad
like
it's no longer canon.
the way that they phrased it in the articles of him talking to Matt Reeves about Batman, Matt Reeves wants Batman to not be part of it, which makes me think James Gunn was like, "Can your Batman be part of the DCU?" Because I think James Gunn probably saw that Batman and was like, "This is awesome. I want this as part of my thing."
Here's the thing.
But with that said, now Matt Reeves is making one of the Arkham shows, so
This is
that is part of that DCU.
Yeah.
So DCU. So who knows?
they're
We'll see.
trying to. The Batman works so well because it's the first step into a world we don't really fully understand yet. You know what I mean? I mean, you know how it works. You know the ins and outs.
Yeah.
And it's really good because it works on its own as a story. But you have to be careful because you don't want to oversaturate everything that you make to be about that, and then have this problem like you're seeing with Star Wars right now, where you have to watch every single thing to understand what's going on with the mainline stuff.
Yeah.
So I think that the Reeves stuff should be separate. Let him do his own thing, and then if they want to merge through some sort of crisis event on down the line, then you can cross that bridge when you come to it. But the DCU needs to kind of do what the MCU did in the beginning, is just build to it. You know what I mean? Because that was the problem with the DCEU. They wanted to have their Avengers level movie by the time the second movie was coming out. And if the MCU had done that, it wouldn't have been as good. Because you go from Superman from a different planet, which is cool. Everybody kind of gets that. To there all of a sudden being a Gotham, and all of a sudden being a Doomsday, and all of a sudden being Lex Luthor, and all of a sudden Wonder Woman's there. It's too much for one movie.
Yeah.
And you have to build to all that.
Yeah. It's like they tried to do an Avengers movie without having the Avengers truly come into their own yet.
Exactly.
You don't know enough about any of them, even Superman and Batman at that point.
Doomsday should be your.
They wanted to start. It's like if you tried to make the MCU around the time Avengers was happening.
Yeah.
You wanted to start the story there because
Yeah.
all of those. The only one that got a proper origin story was Superman. Because Wonder Woman's was super rushed.
Yeah.
Hers,
But
her
even that
whole
movie's
beginning.
pretty good.
Yeah, but it just fast forwards way too quick. Because all they're doing with that movie even happening is trying to catch up to the Justice League.
Yeah.
So they can start it.
But that's the thing. You don't do Doomsday your second movie in. That would be like doing Thanos your second movie in.
Yeah.
Doomsday kills Superman and it affects the rest of the universe. Like that's probably like your into phase 3, into phase 2.
That's your Thanos. That's your
well,
guy.
no, but that's your one that you're like, holy fuck, what are we gonna do? And then you leave him dead for a while.
Yeah, like
you
years.
don't immediately bring him back by the time Justice League rolls around. Like if
I need to see a new Green Lantern. I think DC rushed Justice League. Why not make it long like Marvel did? Exactly.
Yeah.
I think that's what James Gunn's plan is.
But
I think James Gunn's going to make a much more like
drawn out,
undersaturated DC universe.
And keep it to like 1 or 2 movies a year for right now.
Yeah.
Because then that way you're drip feeding.
Well, that's what he's, and I think that's like his thing about being the leader is he's going to be directing these movies as well as being in charge of them. So like it's going to be like it's going to be an event every time one of his comes out because it's not just a DC movie. It's a James Gunn movie.
Oh yeah.
It's like at this point no one cares if Guardians of the Galaxy is coming out. They care that it came out and James Gunn made it. Because there was a minute there where James Gunn wasn't going to make it.
Oh, yeah.
And then Hollywood was like, hey, man, cancel culture's retarded. James Gunn's the only one that can make these movies. Are you kidding me? Have you seen the first 2? We can't make that shit. They wanted Taika Waititi to make it. He was like, are you fucking kidding me? I made the Thor movies for the money. I didn't even want to make them. Like, you guys let me do something. One of them worked. I don't care. I didn't even read the comics.
What was I saying?
Are we getting a Green Arrow film?
God damn it, Charlie.
I doubt it.
I had something I wanted to say.
I'm
it
sorry.
was important.
You've done this to me many times, though.
I
So
know,
is the time I did
but
this
now
to
it's
you.
like I had the fart, and the fart went back in. Oh, okay, I got it. I was going with the Batman.
Okay.
Think about it like this. We've had how many Marvel movies come out since the Batman came out?
At least 2, maybe 3. I don't
And
know.
a couple shows probably somewhere.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
We are still talking about the Batman. We haven't really brought up the new Marvel shit at all. Really.
I have every time.
I mean, yeah, but like
You just don't
know.
want to, so it's hard to
Well,
talk
it's just
about them.
not as good,
And you don't watch
know?
them, so it's
not
like
as good. You know?
Well, you say
So
that you
if
haven't watched any of them. You don't know how good they are.
If you drip feed your audience,
No, you're doing that thing where you ignore the point that I made, but my point is
but
accurate.
I'm not done with my point.
You're
You're
saying your point doesn't make sense because of what you just said
it's not
about
what's better or worse. My point is, if you drip feed your audience like stuff over time, it sticks with them longer because you really feel the build. Like if Captain America had picked up Thor's hammer in that scene in Avengers: Age of Ultron, it wouldn't have had the oomph that it had whenever he picked it up in Avengers: Endgame. Right?
Yes.
That's why you don't have Superman kill Doomsday in your second movie. I mean, Doomsday kills Superman. You know what I mean. They killed each other.
March
Madness.
2022. So Werewolf by Night was right before that, and then how is this article so old? Show me the new stuff. I need to see when they came out. Are you kidding me? This is stupid. I'm not looking for this. I'm not looking this up anymore. I've watched all of it, so I'm always willing to sit and talk about all of it. You're the one who hasn't watched all of it.
Yeah, but I don't like it, so, you know.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter to the point you made, because you're arguing the point as if you've watched both and have an opinion on both.
I've watched a lot of MCU, and I've seen pretty much everything DC, so, you know. The only thing that...
But it wasn't about DC. It was about the Batman.
Oh, well, what I was saying is that, like, my point was that if you drip feed, it keeps people's attention for a lot longer than if you just oversaturate everything, you know?
I don't think so, because the Batman's the only DC property we're talking about, and they've been making movies for 11 years now, and Marvel's only 4 years older than them. They did it since 2008. It's been 15 years. And it took until now for them to finally start to fade a little bit.
But
they still make unbelievable shit every year, like Guardians 3.
But
like, there's a couple duds to most people. I like most of it still. But in the grand scheme of things, the MCU has done way better and is continuing to do way better than the DCEU, which, to even drive the point further, the Batman isn't part of the DCEU.
Well, that's
it's its
what
own
I'm saying.
thing.
The
And so
Batman
is the
its
Joker.
own thing. The Batman is the only thing that is own.
Yeah, so
That's
it's
what I'm
not even
saying.
about drip feeding. That's not drip feeding. That's like, here's your meal. It took an hour to make. Like, it's
3 hours to make.
Yeah, well, yeah, but I mean in terms of it coming out, like it's the only project. They weren't working on a bunch of shit. Now, granted, there's a show coming out, but it was the first thing. It wasn't us waiting for the next part of a greater story. It was its own story when it came out.
Do you think we're gonna get that show?
Yeah, it's in production. It's been in production. There's already
But I
trailers.
mean,
There's
like-
already trailers for it.
But like, do you think we're gonna get it on Max or something else? Because Max
Yeah.
is kind of like falling apart.
Matt, no, it isn't.
That's what everybody keeps telling me. I mean, they offloaded a bunch of their stuff to Netflix.
I don't know. Netflix might have bought a lot of that stuff because it's HBO. I mean, it's still HBO. HBO makes.
Well, yeah,
ridiculous
I
money.
mean, HBO is fine, but I'm talking about as a streaming service, it's not doing great.
if you have HBO, you have Max. That's
Yeah,
what it is.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like purely as a streaming service. Max is not doing great. Like its numbers are horrible.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never heard that. I'm in all those circles of things on Twitter, and I haven't heard that yet. I've heard it for all the other streaming services
Literally
that are doing bad.
every time that I see Mike, me and him talk about
What
it.
went to Max? What went to Netflix that was on Max at all?
All of their DC stuff went over to Netflix.
Oh,
and then
well,
you have-
yeah, they're probably getting rid of shit that's not getting watched.
Well, no, but it's not just like their DC stuff. It's like, I mean, it's like stuff like the Batman and everything like that, and then it's also like other things besides that. Like it's not just DC stuff. It's Warner Brothers stuff, all kinds of things.
Yeah, I'm sure they're offloading stuff that doesn't get viewed, but I mean between Game of Thrones, between Game of
HBO
Thrones,
is Max, Max is HBO, Finkel is Einhorn.
between Game of Thrones, The Sopranos, and like Big Little Liars.
That's HBO though. Like I know what you're
Max
saying,
is HBO.
but
Like,
I get
HBO
that. But
Max.
I'm just
They
saying,
just
this-
changed the name.
Like
It's the
they're
same.
still
it's the same
making
company.
their money from the HBO stuff. That's what, like, because people are still paying for that.
Yeah.
But in terms of it, just solely the part that's the streaming, solely the streaming service, the app is not doing great.
I hear how you're trying to phrase this,
Yeah,
but I feel like you don't get that Max and HBO.
they are the same. I'm not
They're the
disagreeing
exact
with that,
same.
But I'm talking about in terms of it just as a streaming service.
Like
it's
if
not
you
doing
order the
great.
channel for HBO and DirecTV, that's Max getting money, just like it's HBO getting money if you pay for a Max subscription. It's all the same thing because it's the same. They're all making the same content on the same platform.
Yeah.
It's all the same thing.
I just think that this is gonna.
If you pay for a Max subscription, you get the fucking HBO channel on DirecTV, and vice versa.
talk about a movie you couldn't make today.
I think.
Ooh. No, but I just don't think we're gonna see the Penguin show stream on Max. I think we're gonna end up seeing it on Netflix.
I don't know about that. We'll see.
Which
So are
wouldn't
we
be a
gonna-
bad place for it.
Are we gonna get a new standalone movies of Batman, Superman, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Green Lantern, and Martian Manhunter? They are the founding members of the Justice League. Would you want movies or TV shows like they done with Loki and others? For me personally, I want whatever the Kevin Feiges of the world want because I'm a shill and I enjoy what they've done. Like with the MCU, so many people are saying it's like oversaturated and dry and blah blah blah. For me, it all works. I love all of it. I enjoyed She-Hulk, Miss Marvel. I enjoyed Secret Invasion. I've enjoyed literally all of it. There's like 3% of the MCU I dislike. I didn't like Multiverse of Madness. I didn't like Thor: The Dark World. That's about it. so little of it I didn't. I liked so much of the stuff that a lot of people. The Marvels was fantastic. I've enjoyed so many of those movies, and I think you just got to give the reins to someone who knows how to build an overarching story. And Kevin Feige's doing a pretty good job. Like viewership's down, but I think it's because of fatigue for some people, and some people just don't want to stick to a story anymore. They're like the world is getting so stuck in these like fucking 30-second videos or less between TikTok and Instagram and Snapchat and all these social media things. Every day, whether I want to or not, I lay on my bed and I look at my phone for an hour.
Yeah.
And I'll sit there and I'm like, I want to get up, and I won't. I won't. My brain is trapped. I can't get up. I can't leave. I need to start leaving my phone in the fucking. I need to leave my
press. You know.
I need my phone and like to leave it in the fucking hallway, and like have it to where like my watch wakes me up. But I just can't. I can't do it. With a 6-part, 1-hour length TV shows, you can get more into the story. I agree.
Yeah.
I think my favorite thing about the MCU right now is the shows. The shows are amazing. I
Here-
enjoy.
but, like-
I have not disliked a single MCU show.
There's weird licensing issues when it comes to the show for like the DCU stuff because Warner Brothers, for whatever reason, hates like DC on TV, even whether it's a streaming or whatever. Like, so if you've ever watched Titans, they don't even show Batman in that. Like, and he's like a central part of the story. They don't call him Batman. Like, that's how much they don't let you use that kind of stuff. So, like, if they are going to do a show that kind of introduce the whole DCU, they need to get over that shit because it's annoying as fuck. And we've had this problem as a DC fan. We've had this problem since, like, the late 90s. If it's not animated, they're like, no, you can't use his name. You can't even, like, Gotham couldn't even use Batman or Joker in it. And the show's called
funny.
Gotham.
And the Joker's in it.
Yeah, he's there in everything but name. They
Yeah.
never call him the Joker, and
Yeah.
they never call Bruce Batman. And he's literally wearing the bat suit at one point.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's annoying as fuck. I love Warner Bros., but I hate them at the same time. Fuck you, Warner Brothers. How dare you?
How dare you stand where he stood? How dare you try to be
But that's the thing. Like, that's the hump they got to get over. You know what I mean? If they're gonna make something as successful, Marvel, like, they don't give, because it's all Disney, so they can pretty much say or use whoever they want to, like name drop whoever. They won't even let you name drop at DC. Like, there's a episode of Arrow where like Harley Quinn's in it, and they're like, oh yeah, that crazy clown from that other city. And it's so silly, and everyone's like, oh.
It's like in Jessica Jones when they mentioned the Hulk is like that green monster that tore up Harlem.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
it's like, are these really part of the MCU?
Yeah.
And like, they still kind of are now, technically, sort of.
Well, there's nothing in them that really breaks the continuity of the MCU, is it?
No, it's just at the time it was kind of hard to get away with like the direct one-to-ones.
Yeah.
But like now, everything's a direct one-to-one because of the multiverse.
Yeah.
Which is the only thing I don't like about the modern stuff is that they're pushing
They're
so hard
in
for
the Edward
multiverse.
Norton universe, where the Hulk always looked like Edward Norton, even when the Avengers happened.
Right? Yeah.
That's how you get away with
Because
that.
they mentioned both. They mentioned the aliens coming down in New York. They mentioned
So
all
that's
that
how
shit.
you get away with that.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be funny if whenever they do like a big multiverse crossover, there's two Hulks and one's Edward Norton and the other one's fucking what's his name? God damn it.
Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah, Mark
There you go.
Ruffalo. Yeah.
Be really crazy if the
It's
other
like,
guy,
man,
the guy
I
from
look-
like 2004, was in.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, that
Like,
one.
you think it's gonna be Edward
where Ang
Norton?
Lee
or
was
something?
doing it. Yeah, that would have been a weird one.
God, that.
I think it's Ang Lee. I think that's his name.
Liang.
No, the director. No, it's not Ong. How dare you? Do you think the new Power Rangers Netflix film gonna be any good?
I hope so.
If I'm being honest, I don't give a fuck. I've not been a Power Rangers
Did you watch
fan.
the one that came out in like 2014?
I watched like the first half, and
It's
then
pretty good.
And then I caught up on all the clips on YouTube. It's just not my thing. I'm just not. A
It's
Power
pretty
Rangers
good.
fan.
The ending's just kind of
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Roy from The Office is in it,
Okay.
and he's good. Like
Yeah.
he's the dad of one of the kids, and he's actually pretty.
Isn't the Red Ranger the guy from Bear?
I don't know. I know Bryan Cranston is in it, and
Rangers. He's the fucking holographic head,
yeah.
right?
yeah. He's good in it too, actually.
Just
Like
wanna
that
show us
movie.
it.
That movie's kind of slept on.
I'm just not a big fan of Power Rangers, so I just didn't care enough.
The one that came out in 2014 was good cast, but ending sucked.
2014?
Yeah.
Oh, this one's 2017.
Yeah, it's almost 10 years old, which is
There's one from
crazy.
2017.
The Zorgs look good too. You know, it's been crazy. They have like all this budget and stuff, and they still just do guys in suits fighting.
Bro, can you fucking go to the page? Thank you.
Is
Yeah,
it 2017 or
Oh,
2014?
it's Dacker Montgomery, the guy who played
The one with Becky G.
the brother from Stranger Things. Is that the one you're talking about?
Copenhagen goes, I love the original Power Rangers. The yellow one was
Yeah.
Asian, and the black one was, well, black.
Bryan Cranston. Yeah, this is the one from 2017.
Is that when it came out, 2017? Okay.
And
I thought it was 2014.
and yeah, it's the guy who plays the mean brother, what's her name? Max's brother from Stranger Things. He's the Red Ranger.
Is he?
Yeah, that's him.
Wow.
Yep. It's crazy. I love Oh yeah, okay. That was him that said that.
That's amazing, Copenhagen. I agree, though. It is pretty fun.
I'm just not a fan. I just don't care. Like I'm not attached to that
I've
story.
never been into Power Rangers that much, but I remember catching it sometimes on what was that thing that came on ABC Family on Saturdays, but it was for kids. It was something Jax. JetX. Yeah, you remember JetX?
I do remember JetX.
Look, throwback to all of you who.
I remember
that.
watching Power Rangers as a kid and just being like, I just don't care about this.
I liked watching the grass explode, and that was pretty cool.
I did like watching shit. There was cool explosions and fighting.
It was like colorful and explosions, and they're
Yeah.
like, this is it for 30 minutes.
This is it for what kids want.
Yeah.
Kids want this so bad, and I was like, no, I don't.
But then there's like some people out
You know
there.
what I loved?
What?
Code Lyoko.
Yeah, Code Lyoko was
There were a
good.
couple of cartoons that I was like, these are amazing.
Yeah.
and
like,
the story was
I
amazing.
was watching an older cartoon this morning. I was like, you just don't see this in cartoons anymore. They were like talking about drug trafficking and shit, and
Yeah.
like trying to crack down on
Well,
crime.
Code Lyoko, that fucking girl in that Code
And
Lyoko
there's
world,
death.
she like people die, and she's like being held prisoner,
Yeah.
and like they bring her back, and she's like in love with one of the kids, and he's in love with her, and like there's the weird little side romance of
Yeah.
the weird two goth
and
ones,
it's French.
and it's French.
Yeah,
Is it?
It's a French anime.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. And it was fucking. But then they change it. Like season 2 ends in this like all new voice actors
Yeah.
on the American version. And I
It's
was like, this
weird.
is weird.
It's really weird.
And it was still cool. It was still a good story. But
'Cause
I
you
was
get
like,
to see it finish though too.
do you?
Yeah.
I never got to
I
see
watched
it.
the
I don't think
I
ever saw
skipped
the
everything
ending.
and watched the last episode on Netflix, and it was good.
Yeah.
It was dark, but it was good.
I remember doing that with The Office. Once Michael left, I got like 5 episodes in and was like, nope, and just watched the finale.
You gotta watch the Robert California episodes.
I saw a lot of them. Like that's part of the like
Yeah.
5 or 6 after
The part
Michael.
where he cusses Andy out, and he's like, "I'm the fucking Lizard King," and hangs up on him. Like, it's great.
Never seen it. I might watch it one day, but I just don't care enough about it. It'll be one of those things I only ever watch if it's like the only thing on.
You'll have to watch it with your kids one day. Just be like, "Kids, this is the greatest sitcom ever, except for the last 2 seasons."
I have way too many things to watch with my kids. I have to watch Avatar: The Last Airbender with them. I have to watch Game of Thrones with.
The Office is like when your kids are in college.
I don't know-
and you're like,
Yeah.
we have to sit down and watch this."
I don't know if I'll ever be able to watch Game of Thrones with my kids. There's too many moments where I'm like, even if I raise like
because
well,
of the titties,
not the titties, more like just the stuff.
the murder.
That would have to be one of those things that they go look at away from me, and then we discuss it. In all seriousness, why do villains of these shows be like, first I'll take over Angel Grove and then the world, Mwahaha, but struggles to take care of teens in an unknown town, as if other superheroes in other cities don't exist? Seems a bit optimistic.
Yeah,
You know
that's
who
a
that
good
is?
point. Who?
That's Travis.
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 Which Travis?
How many Travises do you know?
I know a lot of Travises.
You know a lot of Travises?
like 3 or 4.
That's the Travis from who we always met up with at Dave & Buster's. Been lurking for a bit. With Lacey. With Lacey and them. Travis.
Oh, Travis!
Yeah, that Travis.
That's a teacher?
Yes.
Yeah. What's up,
He's
Travis?
also a very, very good
What's up, Travis?
what's that game that just came out that you play the shit out of, Travis?
God, it's been forever since
He
we've
lurks a
seen
lot, and I lurk in his stream a lot.
Oh.
I lurk in his stream for hours and I legitimately Diablo 4. He's a Diablo streamer. He's one of the bigger Diablo 4 streamers. Like, there's a few of the like super big ones who are like thousands and thousands of viewers.
him. Yeah.
Travis gets hundreds of viewers a night watching Diablo.
Yeah.
Like-
but this is what, but to Travis's point, what he's talking about with the superhero thing,
Yeah.
like there are instances of that in the old DCAU. Like there's one
Yeah,
episode of
all of it.
Superman where
Marvel and DC, they
where
both have that.
Darkseid shows up and takes her to planet and brainwashes Superman. And like this is in a world where Batman's already well established.
Yeah.
Like Flash is already well established. Like, you know, this
Yeah.
should be an event that the
That was-
Justice League comes together.
That was the
and,
big
like-
problem with like Iron Man 3 right
Yeah.
after. It was right after Avengers, and everyone was like, "Why don't you just call? Why
Yeah.
is Rhodey the
And,
only
like, the
one to
thing
back
is-
you up here?"
And this is at the very end of Superman the animated series.
Yeah.
So like he already knows all of these people, and none of them show up to Metropolis to try and be like, "Hey Superman, stop being brainwashed." Like he has to figure it out on his own and send Darkseid home packing.
Like they started to make it make a little more sense in the movies following like
Yeah.
Avengers: Age of Ultron, because a lot of the time it's happening in a time where they can't call on their friends, or like with Thor 4, like he goes into space. Guardians are already in space. There's a lot of times where you're like, you know, as far away as you can be from people, like for shit to happen. So like, it makes more and more sense that certain characters can't come and help. But like, Iron Man 3 is right after the Avengers.
Yeah.
And you're like, bro, you're fighting an army. Why are you just building all
Yeah.
these? But like, fucking get your friends to come help you.
Call
One of your friends.
up your crew, dude.
One of your friends could handle this.
Yeah.
Thor could handle this.
The Hulk.
The Hulk could handle this.
Yeah. Could you imagine the Hulk just ripping apart all just killing?
just all of them. Like,
Yeah.
none of them stand a chance. Hulk punches each of them. They have a heart attack and explode.
Yeah.
That's the way their powers work. Like, you just need a big guy to go hit them all. Captain America wipes all of them out. Like they all just annihilate.
But then
all
Charlie, listen. If that happened, we wouldn't have a movie.
That's true. Look, I agree. I get it. There's certain loopholes and plot holes.
Although they
you
could
have
have
to
made
ignore.
Iron Man 3 take place before the Avengers. Could you imagine
Nah.
we lived in that world? That's like that ending that we saw the other day. It was like, could you imagine Endgame ended with Doctor Strange waking up from the...
Dude,
like,
that was amazing. Man, there was a moment. We watched a clip the other day. If you guys watched Loki Season 2, I'm not going to spoil the whole thing, but there's a moment in the second to last episode where he learns how to do something very significant to the plot, and the last moment is kind of an amazing moment where he, like, sort of time travels back to another part that was in a previous episode, and you're like... And then it just cuts to black, and you're like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And we watched a re-edited version of Endgame where Tony is lying there and he's dying, and everyone's standing there, and it cuts to Doctor Strange, and it shows him like back to using the time stone, and Tony going, "What'd you see?" And
like
it cuts to black
from Titan. in
from
Infinity
Titan before
War.
they fight Thanos in Infinity War, and you're like, "Holy fucking shit!" Like I was like, I need that version of the movie. I need it. I've never been so nostalgic for something that never happened before. like I need that whole entire version to happen.
That's the next season's What If episode.
Yeah. Well, actually, no, because that's the only version. So he did actually see that.
Yeah.
And that did actually happen to him.
So it's like everything happened.
Everything happened, and then he saw it, and then he went back and let it all play out that way,
Yeah.
which is
Crazy.
so crazy. That's so nuts.
So he knew the whole time.
He knew the whole time. He did.
Yeah.
He said, Tony, one time. There's one way this works.
And which for
You
him,
have to
like,
do it.
experience it time-wise would have been like
Maybe
like
an
15,
hour.
20
Yeah,
minutes,
like
yeah.
no time.
because like he's snapped, and then when he comes back, he
there's
gets
like
everybody
10
together.
minutes. Yeah, it gets
and
everyone
then
together.
They just whoops Thanos.
They wait for Thanos. They fight Thanos. They lose.
Yeah.
Thanos does that, and for their brain, like they snap away and they come back, seemingly probably for moments,
Yeah.
and then they fight in Endgame. They fight that battle, and
Yeah.
that happens to Tony. Like Doctor Strange knows Tony Stark for a day.
That's crazy.
Doctor Strange, like from him
Effectively
waking
just a
up
day.
in his consciousness, he wakes up in the Sanctum Sanctorum, however the fuck you say it.
Yeah. Hulk crashes
Through the ceiling. He explains to Doctor Strange what
a
happens.
wild day.
They grab Tony. They go outside. They fight Squidward. They fight the big guy. They send him home. Fucking, they get on the spaceship. They kill Squidward. Fucking, they meet the Guardians. They go to Titan. He sees everything that's about to happen. He plans the fight, fights Thanos, knows he's gonna lose, loses, tells Tony this was the only way, disappears, comes back in his brain, all at in the same instance, more than likely, is their consciousness of the whole thing. They gathers everyone, fucking is portaling away, grabbing everyone, which is silly. Wait a second. Why did he ask if he could steer the ship? He has magic. I'm so angry. Anyway, hold on a second. He could have portaled out at any moment. At the same time, fucking gets everyone together, goes to Endgame, fights that fight, knows Tony's about to die, which is probably the the only reason it could happen is he doesn't know him, and he just told him, like, I will not hesitate to let you or the child die. He knows Tony has to die for it to work. He watched millions. He probably lived an eternity just figuring out how to save that universe because he had to go through all of those timelines. It's like Loki in
Just
season
an
2.
average day in the Sorcerer Supreme as a Sorcerer Supreme.
Yeah, it's Captain Marvel could have helped. Well, yeah, but no.
Yeah.
That was in Iron Man 3 when he said that, but not really.
Yeah.
Because Captain Marvel doesn't even know who any of those people are yet.
Yeah.
And like
And
Samuel L.
it's off in
Jackson
space.
didn't even know what was happening.
I like that. The one thing I do like about the Marvels is they kind of explain why she hasn't been back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
'Cause
like
other than just like, there are other planets that don't have the Avengers.
yeah, but it's on top of that is so much more. There's so much happening.
Yeah.
Like there's fucking whole wars that are her fault.
Yeah.
and she has to like help out.
Yeah. I do like the idea of the Skrulls kind of being like, fuck you, Captain Marvel. You just make everything worse.
Yeah, and the Kree, like
Yeah.
everyone being like, you ruined this for everyone. Like you thought what you were doing was the right thing, and in reality, you fucking ruined everything.
Yeah.
And I mean that is the plight of a hero in a lot
Yeah.
of ways, and it's so accurate. It's the other side of the Avengers. It's when you grab the Baron Zemos,
Yeah.
and he explains that while the
While
the Avengers were stopping Ultron, they also
Rock killed his whole family.
Rock killed his whole family, and what happens to the Avengers? They go home. day of work done. They did their thing, but like not him. His pain is only beginning.
Yeah.
And God, dude, I just rewatched that yesterday.
Yeah.
The end of Civil War when
Yeah.
he's talking to T'Challa on the edge of the mountain.
Yeah.
God, dude, Chadwick Boseman dying probably is the actual reason the MCU is so bad right now. to a lot of people. Like,
Yeah.
to me, I still enjoy how they're doing it. Like, considering where their plans were going and that they've had to, flip it on a dime
what
and
do you
switch it all
consider
up so
straight,
fast.
Tony, sorry. Or Travis, I mean. Or, no, that is Tony.
Strongest Marvel? The strongest Marvel, right? Wait, hold on. Captain Marvel could help. She has to be the strongest Marvel, right? Like, out of the three Marvel
Are you talking
girls?
about all the characters in Marvel?
I think still technically, yeah, other than, like, the only one that probably could compete at the moment in that universe is Scarlet Witch.
What about Eternity?
Eternity doesn't count. It's like on a whole different spectrum of reality. It's not going to be walking around talking to the Avengers.
What about the Watcher then?
Sure, like you have those characters, but they're not going to, that's different. Like base characters who are interacting in the world, not the ones who are like watching it from afar. They don't.
Char, yeah.
I don't know who that is. Who's Allchar?
I don't know.
I don't understand.
Or Alcar? Alucard? Dr. Alucard.
I don't know. But we
You
need
know
to
what
wrap
Alucard
this
is?
up either way because I have to leave in a minute.
Oh, okay.
Captain Marvel versus Superman?
Yeah, that's
I
tough.
can't
That's
have
close.
that. Yeah, it's close. I can't have that.
That's-
I don't know enough about Superman to have that.
Superman's really only weaknesses are like kryptonite and magic. For real, magic fucks
Doctor
Superman
Strange
up.
could probably fuck up to Superman, or at least have it like be
Yeah.
able to trap him in a way.
Yeah, he would have a good chance of being
Yeah.
Superman.
Well,
That's the thing.
holographic Charizard.
That's-
You forgot the eye.
That's the only thing I don't like about modern Superman is like they make him a god, but like they kind of forget that like he does have his balances too that make
Yeah.
him more like reasonable character.
Yeah. Well,
But anyways,
And then
maybe
for
we're
that-
gonna get that in All-Star Superman probably, hopefully.
hopefully.
Well, not
Hopefully-
All-Star. What's he calling it? Superman Legacy. Yeah.
Superman Legacy.
Oh,
Hopefully,
nice.
maybe, probably, hopefully.
Yeah.
Well, guys, we love you. We'll probably have at least one more podcast before the new year.
Yeah.
We'll see. Not
We
sure.
might have one on New Year's, like we did last year or year before last.
I don't remember what day it was.
That
I
was
think
the year
we did
before
one. We did one New Year's Eve going into New Year's. Like
And
where
we
were-
talked through into like
We
actual
talked
time
into like
too.
2 minutes, and we were like, "Shit, it's the New Year! Happy
Yeah.
Merry Christmas!" or Happy
we
New
didn't
Year.
even count down. And
We
then
didn't
last
count down or
year,
anything.
I was with April and fucking Jade. Like I can't remember what something happened with Jade, and so like the whole time that we're like about to do the countdown, Jade's crying and stuff. So
Nice.
This year will be different.
Hopefully. Anyway, we love you guys.
And we'll miss the
Travis, if you're
countdown
still here,
again.
good to talk to you.
Yeah,
I miss you,
man.
buddy.
We gotta get together sometime.
Yeah, we got to go grab food or something. Copenhagen, a pleasure as always. Cobb, and Tony, welcome, man.
Tony.
you've been a very welcome member of the conversation. I
Yeah.
hope you return.
You've contributed a
Look,
lot.
man, we are always here if you want to talk about. If you're listening to the podcast and we're not talking about Marvel or DC and you want us to, just
Yeah.
fucking let us
Yeah.
know. Thank you for following. Thank you for the follow. You just now followed.
Yeah.
Thank you for the follow.
Thank you.
And because we have to actively try
Not to.
Yeah, look at Copenhagen. He's mad at us because
Yeah.
we always get to talking about that. But like, man, look, if a
We
viewer
talk
wants,
about serious stuff too.
yeah, but if a viewer wants us to talk about Marvel, I mean, who are we? To
yeah. Who are we
deny
to
them?
deny
Because
what the people want?
we can have that conversation the whole. We could do 10 hours on Marvel right
Yeah.
now.
And I would just be like, DC's better in
Yeah.
every way.
Talk
And
about
Charlie
the,
would be
the
like,
Philly
"Well,
Eagles. We can't do that. We're not sports people.
I could do that.
You don't know about the Eagles.
I don't.
What color is their team?
They're blue.
Nope. They're green.
Are they green? It's
Yeah.
like a turquoise green, though, right?
Yeah, it's like it's more like, I wouldn't say turquoise. It's
You
more
said,
like
"Get
a,
the fuck out."
it's more like a dark olive green.
That's what I said.
You said turquoise. That's
Well,
blue.
whatever. I was close.
You idiot. That's like water. Get the fuck out.
What are you
Guys,
talking about,
Guys,
Chad?
we love you. Happy Merry Christmas. Happy New Year, potentially, if we don't see you before then. And Kimberly's here. I listened, and I don't know anything about comics. See, that's Creighton's mom. She listens just because she loves us. Kimberly, I don't know if you were paying attention or if you're watching the video, but I've been wearing your blanket the whole time. Thank you. I love you, and Merry Christmas. You guys have a great day, great night. Creighton, say good night to the people.
Good night, Creighton.